Hello and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box, we have the Ferrari Daytona SP3 from Tomica Basic. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this all-new casting and see if it is worth adding into your collection. So let's go ahead and get things started by looking at our casting. So first things first, we should note that this is actually 1/62nd scale. So it is a little bit bigger than what is going to be in most of your collection. However, it's not like distractingly large or anything like that, so not too bad. Proportionally, everything looks relatively okay. There's a few spots I would say look a little off, but not horribly. So let's go ahead and put the real-life car up in the top right corner so you have something to compare it to. If we come in and take a look at the casting itself, we'll see that most of it is die-cast metal. However, the skirt down here, this is plastic. It is a piece of the base. The exhaust and kind of diffuser area is also a piece of the base, so that is plastic as well. And then this grille up front is plastic, kind of as you'd want it to be. I believe it is a section of the interior, which is right here. And looks pretty good. Everything else is die-cast metal, so like these right here, die-cast. This right here, all die-cast. And even these kind of like weird sections back here where the details get a little wacky on the real car up front here, this is all die-cast, all casted in. So the body lines and everything are phenomenal. I would say that's probably the biggest kind of plus as the casting side is the body lines that just came out really, really nice. And we've got this engine cover back here. This is, as far as I can tell, just painted. It's like just a piece of the body that they've painted. So, on the whole, we don't get a roof piece for this one. Some Tomicas do come with a roof piece that's attachable, not this one. So, overall, casting is pretty solid. For our paint and deco, we just kind of get a classic Ferrari red. That's all we really got going on. There's not a whole lot else to really add to it. We do get some black accents in some spots, but that is kind of the bare minimum to expect. But I do think that this was a good color choice, considering, you know, it's a Ferrari at the end of the day. And I do think that this looks good. Moving on to our details. So, aside from the casted-in details that we talked about earlier, we do get a little Ferrari logo right here. And we also get the Ferrari logo right here as well. We kind of sort of get headlights. This car's headlights are so small that it's, you know, a little bit hard to have done them, but they, sort of kind of attempted to try. This interior plastic bit has got lots of little meshing and etching on it, so that does look good. As we move down to the sides here, we do get Ferrari shields on both sides. Coming up top here, our engine cover is painted. It looks okay. I think there was a way they could have done that to make it look a little better, but it's alright. And then moving into the back here, we do get this kind of tail lights, because this is just kind of how this car looks. It's just kind of odd with tail light section. And we do get a little Ferrari logo there as well. So details, we even get this black trim around the wheel here as well. Details are, as far as the non-casted details, are few, but fine. Moving into our roll test, it is a Tomica Basic, so it does roll, and it rolls pretty nicely. I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it came in at 42.46 grams, so it does have some nice weight to it as well. Moving into some pros and cons. So the biggest pro that I will give this one is, at the moment, it is the only Ferrari Daytona SP3 done in the 1/64th-ish scale range. So if you want this car for your collection, right now this is your only option, and that is probably why you are picking it up. Maybe some other brands will do it down the line if they are able to, but for right now, this is all we have. So moving into cons, we have one that's kind of meh, and then there's one that I think is a big con. So we'll go ahead and get the big one out of the way first, and that is the lack of a roof. So this car, personally, I think it looks much better with a roof, and it's also shown off more frequently, I would say, with the roof on. Either way, though, Tomica does, in the past, they have included little plastic roofs that you can snap on to cars that you can either have top on or top off on. They did not include that with this release, which is a little bit of a bummer, because I personally, again, think it looks much better with the roof on. So if any of you guys have any 3D printing skills and can 3D print a roof that I can snap onto that, send me a DM on Instagram, because that would be super cool. The second con that I would give this one is just kind of the lackluster details. The casted in details themselves are pretty nice, but the kind of extras are just, They are about what you expect from a Tomica Basic, but Tomica has done better in the past. For some size comparisons, here it is with some other Ferraris you might have in your collection, with the Tomica Ferrari SF90 and the Hot Wheels Ferrari LaFerrari. And here we have it with some other Italian supercars, with the Matchbox Lamborghini Centenario and the Tarmac Works Pagani Huayra BC. So it is now time to give my overall thoughts. And I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one an 8.5 out of 10. It's a fine model. It does its job. It is clearly a Daytona SP3. But it is by no means Tomica's best work. It's not even their best work on a Ferrari. Especially in the basic series, there's a few that they've done that have been really, really nice. And I think that they perhaps could have done a little bit better with this one. That being said, though, it's not terrible. It gets the job done. It does suffice. And it overall looks pretty good from a distance especially. So, I would still recommend this one to anyone who's a Ferrari fan, to anyone who's a supercar fan. I do think that it's at least going to be a good placeholder while you wait for somebody else to hopefully do this one. If you give it a little wheel swap, you might be able to make it even just a little bit nicer. But overall, I still think it's pretty good. I mean, it's not like you're paying an arm and a leg for it or anything. Usually it's about like $6, $7, $8, somewhere around that ballpark. So for that price, it's not terrible. And I still think it's worth picking up, at the very least, as a placeholder. And with all that being said, that is going to do it for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below. Comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and subscribe if you are new and haven't done that already, and I will see you in the next video.